Welcome to Wild Child Wellness, where we discuss natural remedies for common childhood symptoms and when to seek medical attention. I'm Julie DeVono, and I have 30 years experience in medicinal herbalism and pediatric medicine. And this is where we discuss those issues that are important to parents who want to consider natural remedies as an alternative for some more modern mainstream medications for the different issues that come up with their children. So, just to get it out of the way, this video is not a substitute for medical advice from a trusted medical provider, so you want to get yourself one of those. It's for informational purposes only. Today, I'm really excited to talk about this new product that I developed, and it's based on a video that I did a couple of weeks ago on diaper rash. So I did a video, and you can check it out on my YouTube channel, all about how to treat a diaper rash or prevent a diaper rash using natural ingredients and medicinal herbal products instead of resorting to those mainstream medical diaper rash creams that you can get at the pharmacy. And I got a lot of feedback, and the most common request that came through my email box was, can you just make it for us? We're busy moms. We don't have time to make our own diaper rash ointment. And I thought, sure. So I did some research, because before that I had never really made an ointment. I didn't understand. I'm not really, to be honest, I'm really not much of a cook. My husband does all the cooking, but he's Italian and I'm Irish, so who do you want cooking? So I was a little bit intimidated by the process, but I did some research, I practiced, and I was able to make a really great diaper rash ointment that is available to share with you all. So this is called my Wild Child Wellness Diaper Rash and Boo Balm. In the beginning, I was just going to call it diaper rash ointment, but we started using it in our home for all sorts of other types of rashes. So I thought, well, I'll just call it a Boo Balm, because you can use it for not just diaper rash, but all sorts of other itchy rashes that need to be moisturized. For example, something like eczema or psoriasis. You don't want to use it for rashes that need to be dried out. So there's two different kinds of rashes, the kind you want to dry out and the kind you want to moisturize. So for example, if you have like poison ivy, bug bites, things like that, that's when you would want to use something different like tea tree oil, which will dry out the rash. But for something like psoriasis or eczema or diaper rash, you want to moisturize and protect the area while you're healing it. So this would be a great product for that. So I'm going to do a deep dive into the different ingredients that are in it, and it is handmade by me in my kitchen, and all of the ingredients I sourced personally, with the view that I didn't want to include anything that I wouldn't feel comfortable using for my own child. And as some of you know, my son has very sensitive skin. He's kind of a twitchy kid when it comes to his immune system. He's a physically tough kid, but he's emotionally a tough kid, but he is sensitive with regards to having sensitive skin and having asthma and other things like that. So all of the products I chose for this recipe were sourced with the idea that I would be 100% comfortable using this for my own son. So you can, take that for what it's worth. Now, so let's go into it. Now, this is what the large jar looks like. This is 2 ounces, and it is available. This is $12. And then I have a tiny little travel size one. I think it's like 1/3 of an ounce, but this is $6. And, this is good for like throwing in your first aid kit or your diaper bag on the go. This one is plastic. This is glass. So this might be more appropriate to have to either refill this or to just keep on the diaper changing table. And you can get either of these from me. This one's $6, this one's $12. So what goes in it? Well, step one with making an ointment is you're going to need something to make it a solid ointment. So I chose beeswax. Oh, that's the zinc oxide. Oh, I didn't bring out my bag of beeswax. Okay, so I use 100% naturally sourced organic beeswax. And the nice thing about the beeswax is it's got a really nice texture once it melts. It's very moisturizing. It also has a nice smell. It's kind of got like a sweet honey smell, which Oh, may also be from the honey that's in it. So I guess I'm keeping a lot of local beekeepers in business with this. But, you know, the beeswax is kind of that, what makes it a solid. And then I have the olive oil, which turns the solid beeswax into more of a softer ointment. And I use 100% organic olive oil. I chose olive oil because I've used olive oil forever as just a great moisturizer for my skin, or even for my son. When he was a baby, we would even use the olive oil in his bath water because it was moisturizing, but it's very good for sensitive skin. I have sensitive skin as well, and I don't have to worry about having a reaction to the olive oil. So I use olive oil. And then to turn it into a diaper rash cream, I needed to add some zinc oxide. So this is pure, no additive, uncoated, nano-free zinc oxide. It's just a powder, but it was really important to me to get the one that had no preservatives or additives, and also to get the non-nano. And what I learned about that is some sunscreens that use zinc oxide have nanoparticles in it, so they're not reef safe. They're not good for the ocean when it comes off your skin. So I opted for the non-nano zinc oxide powder. So, and the great thing about zinc oxide is the purpose of it in this ointment is it's really good at preventing burns. Like, you know, when you see lifeguards with the white on their face, it's zinc oxide. And it's also good for healing burns. And since a diaper rash is kind of like a burn, the zinc oxide is really good at healing that injury. That's why it's such a common product in any diaper rash cream that you buy. It will almost always have zinc oxide in it. But I wanted to get a really good, pure, natural, environmentally safe zinc oxide. So that's in there. And then now, when you're wanting to prevent or treat a diaper rash, I alluded to this in the previous video, there's 3 major components that you want to hit. You want an antifungal, you want an antibacterial, and you want an anti-inflammatory. And that's because diaper rashes are such a combination of causes. It's not just one thing. There's a lot of different things going on because it's an enclosed environment prone to growth of funguses and yeast and bacteria, especially yeast. Yeast is a big one for diaper rash. And that's when I went ahead and added grapefruit seed extract. Grapefruit seed extract is an excellent antifungal. I've recommended it for years, but you want to dilute it. So you don't want to use it straight. So, you know, you dilute it down, and you can use it for if a baby has thrush, if they have a yeast diaper rash. I've even recommended it for moms if they're having issues with nipple infection and passing the yeast back and forth between them and the baby. So if I was making a diaper rash ointment, the grapefruit seed extract was a definite. That had to go in there. And this is kind of like a natural alternative to what you might find in a regular diaper rash cream that has an antifungal like nystatin or fluconazole or something like that. So this is like a natural alternative to that. And then with a diaper rash, there's bacteria growth. You want something that's antibacterial or something that'll kill bacteria. I opted for the Manuka honey. Manuka honey has great antibacterial and bacteria fighting properties. Now the difference between regular honey and Manuka honey is a honey that is sourced from Australia because the bees are fed with pollens from the tea tree plant. Tea tree oil and tea tree also has excellent antimicrobial properties. So that might be why the Manuka honey has sort of an extra oomph against bacterial infections. And there's actually been some research studies where they used Manuka honey for burn victims, and it worked just as well as the antibiotic ointments that they would normally use that were prescriptions. So there's a lot of good science to back that up. So the Manuka honey definitely went into the diaper rash ointment. And a nice side effect is it kind of gives the ointment like a nice honey scent to it. So that's really good. Now, the third component when you're putting together a diaper rash treatment is you want an anti-inflammatory, because rashes are inflamed. The skin is inflamed. You want to treat that inflammation. So I chose calendula oil. I found a really good natural 100% pure calendula oil. Now calendula is a plant that's in the marigold family. So I used to just, at the end of the summer, I would harvest all of my calendula plants and make my own calendula oil by chopping the tops off and putting them in a jar and filling it with olive oil or other type of neutral oil and just leaving it in that jar in the sun for a couple of days. And when it turned dark orange, I knew, okay, but I don't have time for that anymore. I'm too busy making diaper rash ointment. So I found a really good source for the calendula oil to add to this recipe. Now, the so those are like the three main. So if you get a prescription diaper rash cream from a medical provider, or if you go to the pharmacy and you get an over-the-counter mainstream diaper rash cream, it should, and it almost always has those three components. But it's also got the zinc oxide to help with the burn. And then you want something that's a barrier to protect the skin, because the problem with diaper rash is while the skin is trying to heal, it's also continuing to be exposed to what caused the rash to begin with. So that's where the beeswax provides a good barrier ointment. And yeah, I touched on all of the ingredients, and I touched on the two different types of rashes. And, you know, one of the things that I would always recommend over the years to my patients was when you want a diaper rash cream, you really want to get a good solid barrier ointment. So I really want, you know, it took a couple of tries to experiment with the recipe to get it at just the right consistency. Either it would be too liquidy or it would be too hard. So I finally got the recipe right. So it is like a little bit, you know, it's a solid in the jar, so it doesn't spill out. But when you warm it on your skin, it turns into a nice, rich, thick cream. And then, you know, you can put it on wherever. It is a little bit greasy because of the olive oil, but to be honest, you want an ointment that's got a really good, heavy, greasy feel to it, because anything that doesn't means that it's being absorbed too quickly into the skin. So it's moisturizing the skin, but it's not providing that protective barrier. So it's just one of those things that, you know, you kind of put up with because you know it's more effective. But this isn't too bad. And as a very fair-skinned person prone to sunburn, sometimes in a pinch, if you know I have it with me and I don't have sunscreen with me, I know it's got the zinc oxide in. Or if I do have sunscreen on me, by putting this on, I know it's adding an extra layer of sun protection. So that's really good too. So unfortunately, this is not available on my Etsy shop. You have to contact me directly by email if you want to get a jar. But no big deal. Send me an email, and I'll get it out to you. And you know, it's funny because I spent 15 years wishing somebody would make a diaper rash cream that had all of these components in it. I would always get frustrated, and I'd have to tell parents, okay, well, you want to get an athlete's foot cream for the antifungal, and then you want to get an antibacterial ointment, and then you want to get your good heavy zinc oxide based diaper cream. Just mix the three together. And I'd always have parents say, well, isn't there one product that has all three? And I've spent 10 years searching, and I'd always find like one that was like, okay, well, this has these two components, but it's missing this. Or another one that's like, okay, well, it has these, but it's missing this. I finally had the time to make one that has everything in one. So this is honestly the diaper rash cream that I wish I had made 10 years ago. Although 10 years ago, my kid was young, I was busy, I didn't have the time. But this is the diaper rash ointment, or the Boo Balm ointment, because as you see, I use it for more than just diaper rash, that I wish I had available to my patients over the years. But it's available now. So if you're interested, hit me up. You can also check out my Etsy shop for other products that I have available. You can email me. You can reach out to me on all the social medias, and check out some of my other Wild Child Wellness videos for more information. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Obviously, it's a beautiful summer day here in the mountains, but no, you know, it's always a beautiful day no matter what kind of day it is. So just get out there and enjoy it. I'll see you all next time. Be well.